We are trying to say about Mahavatar Babaji, but it will be very less about him. Babaji, forgive us for our mistakes. He is supposed to have been born on November 30, 203 AD in a small coastal village, known as Parangipettai in Tamil Nadu. He was given the name of Nagaraja or the Serpent King. According to Govindam's book, Babaji Nagaraja's father was the priest of the village's temple. Babaji revealed only those details which he believed to be formative as well as potentially instructive to his disciples. Govindam mentioned one incident like this. One time Nagaraja's mother had got one rare jackfruit for a family feast and put it aside. Babaji was only 4 years old at that time. He found the jackfruit when his mother was not around and ate it all. When his mother came to know about it, she flew in blind rage and stuffed a cloth inside Babaji's mouth, nearly suffocating him, but he survived. Later on he thanked God for showing him that she was to be loved without attachment or illusion. His love for his mother became unconditional and detached. When Nagaraja was 5 years old, it is said that someone kidnapped him and sold him as a slave to a shopkeeper in Calcutta. His owner, however, was a kind man and released him and told him to go where he wanted. The boy joined a group of wandering yogis who had great love for God. The radiance in their faces attracted him so much that he followed them wherever they went. For the next 10 years he wandered around the subcontinent with them, studying all the holy scriptures of Hinduism like the Vedas, Upanishads and the Puranas. When Nagaraj was about 15 years old, he joined a small group of wandering sannyasin due to their radiant faces and love for God. During the next few years, he wandered from place to place, studying holy scriptures like the Vedas, Upanishad, Mahabharata, Ramayana and Bhagavad Gita and practiced deep meditation. Quest for self-realization. According to Marshal Govindam's book, at the age of 11, he made a difficult journey on foot and by boat with a group of ascetics to Kataragama, Sri Lanka. Nagaraj met Siddha Bhoganatha and became his disciple. Nagaraj performed intensive yogic sadhana for a long time with him. Bhoganatha inspired Nagaraj to seek his initiation into Kriya Kundalini Pranayam from Siddha Maharishi Agastya. Babaji became a disciple of Siddha Agastya. Nagaraj was initiated into the secrets of Kriya Kundalini Pranayama or Vasi Yogam. Babaji made a long pilgrimage to Badrinath and spent 18 months practicing yogic kriya taught to him by Siddha Agastya and Bhoganatha. Babaji attained self-realization shortly thereafter. It is claimed that these revelations were made by Babaji himself to Saa Ramaya, a young graduate student in geology at the University of Madras, and V.T. Neelakantan, a famous journalist, and close student of Annie Besant, president of the Theosophical Society and mentor of Krishnamurti. Babaji was said to have appeared to each of them independently and then brought them together to work for his mission in 1942. Reports of meetings, 1861 to 1935. Main article, Lahiri Mahasay. The first reported encounter with Mahavatar Babaji was in 1861, when Shyamacharan Lahiri, called Mahasay by disciples, devotees, and admirers, was posted to Ranikhet in his work as an accountant for the British government. One day while walking in the hills of Dunagiri above Ranikhet, he heard a voice calling his name. Following the voice up the mountain, he met a tall, divinely radiant sadhu. He was amazed to find that the sadhu knew his name. This sadhu was Mahavatar Babaji. Mahavatar Babaji told Lahiri Mahasay that he was his guru from the past, then initiated him into Kriya Yoga and instructed Lahiri Mahasay to initiate others. Lahiri Mahasay wanted to remain with Mahavatar Babaji, who told him instead that he must return to the world to teach Kriya Yoga and that Kriya Yoga sadhana would spread through the people of the world through his Lahiri's, presence in the world. Lahiri Mahasay reported that Mahavatar Babaji did not give his name or background, so Lahiri Mahasay gave him the title, Mahavatar Babaji. Many sadhus in India are called Babaji, and sometimes even Babaji Maharaj, which has caused confusion between Mahavatar Babaji and other sadhus with similar names. Lahiri Mahasay had many meetings with Mahavatar Babaji, recounted in several books, including Paramahansa Yogananda's autobiography of a yogi, Yogiraj Shama Charan Lahiri Mahasay, Lahiri's biography, and Purana Purusha, Yogiraj Sri Shama Charan Lahiri, among others. There are references to Lahiri Mahasay in Sampurna Shripada Vallabha Charitam as Guru to Sri Shirdi Sibba, who initiated him to Kriya Yoga. The first in this line of gurus, Babaji is of unknown age, and lives in the Himalayas with a few highly advanced students. Yogananda called him Babaji Krishna, saying that Babaji was Krishna in a former incarnation. Seeing that in the present scientific age, people were better prepared to receive higher knowledge, Babaji directed his disciple, Lahiri Mahasay, to reintroduce the meditation science of Kriya Yoga to the world. Yogananda, in his autobiography of a yogi, gives the following description of the deathless Guru. No limiting facts about Babaji's family or birthplace, dear to the analyst's heart, have ever been discovered. His speech is generally in Hindi, but he converses easily in any language. He has adopted the simple name of Babaji, revered father. Other titles of respect given him by Lahiri Mahasay's disciples are Mahamuni Babaji Maharaj, Supreme Ecstatic Saint, Mahayogi, Greatest of Yogis, Trambak Baba and Shiva Baba, titles of avatars of Shiva. The deathless Guru bears no marks of age on his body. He appears to be no more than a youth of 25. Fair-skinned, of medium build and height, Babaji's beautiful, strong body radiates a perceptible glow. His eyes are dark, calm, and tender. His long, lustrous hair is copper-colored. As his undecaying body requires no food, the master seldom eats. As a social courtesy to visiting disciples, he occasionally accepts fruits, or rice cooked in milk and clarified butter. One untold story, Dasashwamedh Ghat I was a Supreme Court lawyer living in New Delhi. He had never heard of Babaji, but one time when on pilgrimage to Varanasi, he was sitting in the evening at Dasashwamedh Ghat. An extraordinarily beautiful woman came up to him and simply said, "Follow me." He did not know it, but this was Babaji's sister, about whom Yogananda wrote in Autobiography of a Yogi. He followed her through dark narrow alleyways and then down narrow stairs into an underground cave. Only a single light was burning there, and by its light he saw a young man with bright red hair sitting there in meditation. The woman motioned for him to sit. When he asked who the man was, she only said, "Great Babaji," and indicated he should not speak. He sat there an hour or so looking at the radiant figure before him. Then in silence the woman signaled he should stand up and follow her. She led him back to Dasashwamedh Ghat and left without a word. Only a day or so after he returned to New Delhi he came across Autobiography of a Yogi and saw the picture of Babaji which was just like the yogi he had seen. Many times he went back to Varanasi seeking Babaji or his sister, but was not successful. Traditional legends alter of the Self-Realization Fellowship Langeringen Meditation Circle near Augsburg in Bavaria, Germany. From left to right are Lahiri Mahasay, Mahavatar Babaji, Jesus Christ, Lord Krishna, Paramahansa Yogananda and Sri Yukteswar Giri. Paramahansa Yogananda, in his autobiography, described Mahavatar Babaji's role on earth. The Mahavatar is in constant communion with Christ. Together they send out vibrations of redemption, and have planned the spiritual technique of salvation for this age. The work of these two fully illumined masters, one with the body, and one without it, is to inspire the nations to forsake suicidal wars, race hatreds, religious sectarianism, and the boomerang evils of materialism. Babaji is well aware of the trend of modern times, especially of the influence and complexities of Western civilization, and realizes the necessity of spreading the self-liberations of yoga equally in the West and in the East. In addition, Babaji is reputed to be ageless, according to some accounts, and about 500 years old around the late 1800s, according to Pranabananda. Yogananda reports that, according to the disciples of Lahiri, nobody knows Babaji's age, family, place of birth, true name, or other details, dear to the analyst's heart. According to Yogananda's autobiography, he has a sister called Mataji, meaning, Holy Mother, who also has lived throughout the centuries. Her level of spiritual attainment is comparable to her brother's, and she lives in a state of spiritual ecstasy in a cave. Although only 3 pages in the book are dedicated to her, she is described by Ram Gopal as young and surpassingly lovely, as well as a glorious woman.
Dear audiences, we want your support to grow our channel. Without your kind support, we are nothing. Please do like, subscribe, share and comment. Thanks a lot.